Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. We're here for a meditation a day. I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson and so proud to be bringing to you Harold Becker. He is the founder of the Love Foundation and has brought Global Love Day to the planet for 21 years now. So we'll hear about that after the meditation. Harold, thank you so much for being here.
Well, Ruth, it's always a pleasure to join in and share a brief meditation, of course, about love. But with your group, it's such an honor to be able to do this.
Oh, thank you. And today's meditation is called Being Love. So make yourselves at home, friends, and I'll get out of Harold's way.
So let us begin by simply starting to take our outer attention off of the outer activity and begin to turn our consciousness, our awareness, our thoughts, and our feelings within. It is often a great place to start by taking some nice, natural, deep breaths. That part of us that connects us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, all as one in this particular moment. So we just gently begin to breathe ourselves from the outer to the inner. Just allowing those thoughts, that momentum to begin to subside. Just begin to become an observer. No rush, no worries, no attempt to control anything. In fact, just rather relaxing, allowing, withdrawing our attention from the outer and bringing it more into the inner, that inner sanctum, that inner beingness that is who we are. With each deep breath, we find ourselves relaxing a little more and a little more and a little more. Our thoughts are beginning to quiet. A few jump in and out. We just simply notice them, let them be. As we continue to just breathe ourselves into our body, we start to notice our whole body is beginning to breathe in harmony and unison. This breathing through our body is going on all day, every day. It's only when we still our awareness from the outer and bring it to the inner that we begin to notice this rhythmic breathing, this life-sustaining, this life-giving breathing that is forever permeating throughout our body as we continue to withdraw more from the outer and begin to relax more in the inner, where our thoughts begin to quiet. So do our emotions begin to become more still, as does our body. So we begin to feel ourselves more centered in our body. We notice with this rhythmic breathing that in fact our limbs are beginning to relax, our muscles are beginning to relax, skin is beginning to relax. Our heart is beating more naturally and more rhythmically. Our lungs are in harmony with the heart. Our blood is flowing in harmony with all these various aspects. We breathe ever more gently, ever more relaxed. We feel a freshened sense of peace come over us. And that stillness is a sense of peace. Our physical, our emotional, our mental aspects are all working in unity and harmony, doing what they do best in the highest and best way, always there for us, and especially delighted when we notice our physical, our emotional, and our mental counterparts to this grander aspect that we really are. As we center ourselves ever more in our being. This wave of peace continuing to permeate throughout our cellular and even our atomic structures, even down to the subatomic structures, into that stillness, that oneness, that nothingness that is everything, that space between all spaces, that space between all particles, that still quiet space within us. As we feel ourselves connected, harmonious, and peaceful, we begin to sense a natural state of balance, our true state. And in this true state, we begin to sense our wholeness, our completeness, our divine nature, our true nature, indeed, our loving nature. Oh, and as we tap into that loving nature, the pure, magical potential that resides in us every moment, we sense that love from the center of our being, that whole aspect of us, our past, our present, our future, our multidimensional self, our realized self, our knowing self, our best friend, our reflection, our potential. In this state of being relaxed in the center of our being, reuniting, embracing the love that is always present, always available, always ready to permeate throughout our existence just by the simple recognition, the knowingness that we are love. And the more we allow this love to permeate, to expand, there's a perception of it being nothingness, invisible, and yet we know in every fiber of our being, every particle of our essence, every aspect of our awareness, this pure love is who we are. With the days, when all of our activities, our outer focuses, there are times like this where we simply take a moment to relax into our pure self, our real self, our pure potential of pure imagination, the place where our highest dreams reveal themselves through our heart center being, the space and place, this essence, this timelessness, this eternal infinite aspect of ourselves, this pure potential, this magical potential. Right here, ever present, ever knowing, ever loving, ever embracing us, ever acknowledging our journey upon this precious planet and delighting in walking with us every step of the way, encouraging and guiding, informing and enlightening our potential. This pure, unconditional love, this pure, non-judgmental love, this pure essence that is beyond duality, beyond the contrast, this pure aspect of ourselves that sees and knows our infinite grandness, our innate magnificence. This pure love, which is the essence, the fount the beginning with no end, the end with no beginning. Pureness. This is who we truly are. Connecting, embracing, and now embodying this love. This is how we allow this pure love to permeate our consciousness, lift our senses, open our inner sight, open our heart, turn experience into wisdom, turn life into joy. For indeed, the more we connect with this pure essence, this infinite, eternal presence, this love that we are, the more we begin to feel the next wave of joy that emanates. From peace, we reveal love, and from love, we reveal joy. This is the connectedness, the interdimensional, and the third dimensional, all combining, all coexisting as one beautiful scintillating ball of light. Scintillating ball, all the great colors of the rainbow, known and unknown to us. Beyond the ultraviolets and beyond the infrareds and all the others we've yet to discover within ourselves. All contained, all displayed, all emanating in this pure essence of harmonious, peaceful, loving, joyful light. This is who we truly are. This is who we've always been. And this is what we're here to embody fully and completely in our beautiful dimensional self in this moment where we are physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually all united as one. Our subatomic, atomic, and cellular structure dancing within our bodies, our heart expanding with all the potentials of what yet can come. The wisdom in our mental capacity that acknowledges the heart, acknowledges the love, and realizes that every problem has a solution, and every problem that is infused with love brings the highest loving solution. And then there's joy. Joy is that expression that unites all these various aspects, that elevates our heart, our mind, and indeed our physical, permeates, it exalts, it magnifies, it expands, it brings our awareness to a sense of knowing that we are indeed magnificent beings. We are indeed magnificent beings. We are indeed magnificent beings. It has been a long while since we've remembered this. In our earthly journey, we've encountered so much. And in that outer focus, we've at times forgotten, set aside this pure essence of our real beingness, our true beingness, our infinite beingness. Now we've reunited, embraced, and realized that we are beyond worthy. Embracing and embodying the love we are is our natural state. All the rest is the illusion. Our natural state is the love forever beating our heart, animating our lives, and guiding us in an ever-expanding creative way to tap our imagination decide upon our dreams and make them a reality. Only now we have the inclusion of love. With this inclusion of love, that which we hope for, that which we dream of, that which we imagine, the most positive light, that pure potential, instantly manifests with that pure loving potential. And we begin to walk step by step, moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat, with love in the center of our being, consciously now a part of us, being a part of every thought, being a part of every feeling, being part of the pure joy that we are truly destined to manifest upon this precious planet, where the inner and the outer blend into one harmonized whole, and where love is given the central focus of our awareness. And it is the love that brings us our highest potential into fruition. It is the love that allows us to dream expanded dreams, to see and know that all that we are experiencing now is equally and infinitely a part of every other being upon this planet, and all the beings that have been and all the ones yet to come. This is the truth of who we are, our pure nature, our divine nature, our loving nature, our knowing nature. This is the place where trust and hope move into knowing, the state of being love, the state of embracing and embodying the love we are, and realizing that we are here to walk upon this planet, the joy in our heart, the knowing in our mind, the dance in our life. And from this inside out awareness, we walk differently now. We step out into the world with our love as a natural, integrated aspect of our totality. And everything that we see and gaze upon, everything we interact with, feels this new vibration, this expanded vibration, this unconditional vibration, this unlimited vibration, this infinite vibration, this boundless vibration. Everything lifts and raises in recognition of the love. As we release the love through ourselves, we ignite the love in others. We ignite the same pure spark of love in each particle of this precious planet, this beautiful solar system, this exquisite galaxy, this divine cosmos. For indeed, all of it is connected. The infinite universes and each particle of our atomic structure reflects and mirrors the stardust of countless cosmos aspects, stars beyond stars. Indeed, we have restored and become the star that we are, the radiant, magnificent being of love. The joy that permeates, the joy that creates the smile, the joy that releases the compassion and the kindness, the love that reaches heart to heart, the wisdom that creates solutions that benefit all. Each of us carries this within ourselves, and now we've made it a conscious aspect of our own beingness. We go forth into the world now, being love, sharing love, knowing love, inspiring love, igniting love. In this moment, we get to claim, we get to accept, we get to embrace the fullness of who we truly are. The love at the center of our being. And with that, we begin to notice our breath again, the gentleness, the harmony of our breath. Begin to notice ourselves more physically, more tangibly. We begin to notice our corporeal body, our human body. Begin to notice our thoughts and our feelings gently coming back online with a completely different, elevated vibration, a sense of peace, a sense of love, and a sense of joy. Each gentle breath becoming more present in our physical body, more harmonious in our emotional body, and more still in our mental body. As our spiritual nature unites all of these aspects, we bring this beautiful scintillating essence of our purity into this third dimension upon this precious planet, this beautiful planet that we all walk upon. As we allow ourselves to gently come fully into, or perhaps an expanded version of the one we last experienced. Now we get to step forth and be the love we are and show the world the potential that is held within every particle of this beautiful universe. As we come back fully into our body, back into our space, back into this precious 3D world with a renewed sense of who we really are.
Harold, that was beautiful. Thank you. It's always hard to come back from meditations like that. I loved when you said, this pure love is who we truly are. I can't tell you how many times in meditation I've heard the words, remember who you truly are. And I love that you are hearing the same words from Spirit as I'm hearing from Spirit. And it's all about the same thing, that we truly are magnificent, made in divine love. So thank you for that.
It's certainly been, well, some 35 years of focusing on the awareness of love. I think the pivotal initial realization that we're all, as humanity, typically looking for love outside of ourselves through our relationships, our things, our activities. And in fact, we're always searching outside when it's ever present inside. And that has always been my understanding in this lifetime. And that makes sense to me. And I think, I share it from that standpoint because if I can just encourage anyone to realize that they are magnificent here and now, it changes everything in their reality because the perspective now, love is the foundation. and you move beyond out into the world with love, you're no longer seeking, your being. And it has certainly transformed my life. As we've spoken before, I had a very different life before this. And I think what I still to this day, I find so many people have such a challenging time embracing the fact that they are loved, that they are lovable, that they are loving, that they are indeed magnificent, truly embracing it. I mean, really unconditionally allowing ourselves to be that. And I can only speak from my own personal experience that when I gave myself that gift, everything changed for the better. Absolutely for it. Now everything in life is a wonderful expectation of what can be versus what it used to be, which was what was for what wasn't. And now it's really what can be. And as we've all kind of experienced this in our own ways, we're living very different lives as a result than what we ever could have possibly imagined, and doing things we never would have given ourselves even an inkling of opportunity to consider, much less act upon. And that's the difference between knowing we are love versus seeking something and feeling we are not love, the absence of love. And I think we can just flip that little switch. This would be a very different planet for all of us.
Yes, I agree. Now, 24 years ago, you created the Love Foundation. How did that happen? That became what you were going to be spending your life's purpose bringing into the world?
Well, it actually started more as a seed experience, probably in 1990, when I made the initial move out of banker business world, doing everything right and not being happy. Made a decision that I was going to be happy, so I was going to find out what that meant. That created a whole external search, external search, probably best way to say, looking outside of myself for my happiness, which was never forthcoming, and decided instead that I was going to ask the deeper questions: who am I really? And then just allowing myself to explore that. It was very early on in that experience where it became self-evident to me that love was the only major message on the planet. So in my logical business mind and my organized self, I thought, well, this is kind of dumb. We should be focusing on love. So I just decided I would fast forward some books, some PBS shows, and focusing on sharing what I'd come to understand. It kind of set me up. I started to meditate, started doing things that were nurturing for myself. And then in one of my meditations, certain things in my life hadn't gone quite the way I had intended it. And so I just kind of sat in meditation, and I rather proudly said, I'm not getting up until you tell me what's next. About 45 minutes in, I got the fullness of the Love Foundation as all of its potential in those 3 words. And the only way I can share it is my eyes popped open. I looked up, I said, you've got to be kidding. Well, a year later, we launched it as a nonprofit in 2000. And it was a natural next step to take what I had been doing, which was a lot of self-help, self-analysis, self-awareness, a lot of the kind of the technical things we can do to kind of understand ourselves, and then move the message into just love specifically. And particularly for me, even though unconditional is a double negative, it's still the only word we have in the Western-centric language that makes sense. So it became all about the focus of unconditional love, and it became the next level of expression. And then as a nonprofit, it was a natural expression to go even more global with what we were doing. And a very simple vision was to inspire people to love unconditionally, which was a tall order, especially if you think in 2000, most people didn't know any of what those words meant. They understood the word people, but the rest of the words, they kind of, and yet here we are 24 years later, still going strong as a nonprofit and enjoying being able to interact with people. And gosh, I think the latest count 175 countries that we've had encounters, just people finding us. To this day, I think I marvel most at that, is how there are individuals in every point of this planet who have come to their own level of realization of love and unity. And then they find us and they say, you make sense to me. They don't feel the separation. They don't feel the necessity to single out a particular religious perspective or a cultural perspective. They say there's something more going on here, and the Love Foundation seems to resonate. And we just, every day we find new individuals finding us, and it's just magical.
So you just celebrated Global Love Day. Tell us
It's
about
May 1st.
May 1st, yes. Tell us about that.
That was another one of those curious, how did it happen? Well, when we launched the Love Foundation in 2000, inspiring people to love unconditionally. I understood it, but how exactly do you take a nonprofit and inspire people to love unconditionally? That was kind of a big ask and a big question. We had some ideas. We initiated a few things, but it was really in November of 2003. Sounds like last year. No, feels like last year. I woke up in the middle of the night with this whole idea of Global Love Day for May 1st, and brought it to board a couple of days later for a nonprofit. And everybody loved the idea. And we're going back in the time period where we didn't have social media. We didn't have it. We had internet. We had people beginning to do websites. So, for me, we never did grassroots. We decided we would go out with this idea of let's create a day for us to recognize our humanity. There are lots of days out there in fact, Labor Day is the other prominent event in many Western-centric countries. Well, at the time I got the idea of Global Love Day, I had no idea that Labor Day, because we have Labor Day in September in America, I didn't realize that many of the other nations celebrated Labor Day on May 1st. Maypole Day, other things going on, but we just never let that deter because of the nature of the way it kind of came to me. We just decided to run with it. And especially here in America, since there isn't anything designated, it actually worked well to launch it here. Subsequently, we've realized Labor Day, for example, is really an act of self-love, because labor parties and labor unions and things were really about people standing up to their own personal rights. And there's a lot of overlap in that energy. But we launched it for the first May 1st, 2024. We brought it out to individuals around the world by email. We found other peace organizations, things that were relatively similar. We started having strong feedback from African nations, which totally surprised us. We ended up with some volunteer coordinators representing Kenya, Nigeria, other interactions. We decided to take our core vision and put it out there to mayors, councils, governors, and our very first proclamation, because typically a nonprofit would get their local mayor, we just went out to everybody. We were big on the big idea. And the very first proclamation was Mayor Rocky Anderson of Salt Lake City. 12 were issued that first year, from different mayors. We're just crossed our 21st, May 1st, that we just did. We just crossed over the 900 proclamations. We have 30 US governors that have signed proclamations, and right at 300 cities all throughout the United States, Canada, and even England. And we also have a proclamation from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So we've just put it out there, and I think the strength of the timeless, unconditional message, because we have nothing that we are looking for, we simply share this vision to as many types of individuals and groups and communities and cultures as we possibly can. And it's just been remarkable to see how people respond to the simple message of love. I can't tell you enough that any day that we encounter anybody and hand them one of our cards and see inspired, oh my God, this is what we need on the planet. And here we are, simply doing it.
Right. And good job after all these. Harold, if folks want to know more about you or more about the Love Foundation, how do they find you?
Probably any search will find us, because we're kind of out there everywhere, but thelovefoundation.com for the nonprofit. If they want to find out more about Global Love Day, that's globalloveday.org. And then, of course, we have, we're on every social site with multiple pages. So we're easily found on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So we're findable. And I certainly recommend or encourage anybody who wants to contact me directly, absolutely write us through our website, the contact form. I'll get it, and I'll be happy to respond to anybody that's got any questions or wants to participate or volunteer or just simply share their story of love.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you so much for being here today. So, friends here at Enlightened World Network, don't forget who you truly are: beautiful, magnificent, divine love. So, take good care. God bless. And we'll see you all soon. Bye now. Thank you, Harold.
Thank you.